Imagine growing up in a world where every challenge you face as a child silently shapes your future, your health, your relationships, and even your career. For millions of survivors of adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, this isn't just a story, it's their reality. Today we'll explore how we can be the bridge between trauma and triumph, offering hope, healing, and support for ACE survivors to reclaim their lives. Support for ACE survivors. Support for ACE survivors. A PSA to mental health and healthcare providers. The objective is to promote trauma-informed care and emphasize the need for comprehensive support systems, sharing the long-term impacts of ACEs, and sharing the importance of supporting survivors. Understanding ACEs. Adverse childhood experiences affect millions of people, shaping both their mental and physical health well into adulthood. Mental health professionals have a crucial role in supporting ACE survivors. We've learned that 1 in 6 adults report having 4 or more ACEs. ACEs are linked to increased risk of depression, anxiety, and chronic illnesses. Between the years of 2011 and 2020, approximately 2/3 of adults surveyed in the U.S. reported having at least one ACE. The impact of ACEs on mental health. Survivors of ACEs are at a higher risk of developing mental health conditions, including PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Studies show that individuals with a history of multiple ACEs are 4 times more likely to experience mental health disorders. Addressing these issues requires a trauma-informed approach. We have the Cumulative ACEs and Mental Health Survey. This shows us the correlation between high ACE scores and different disorders, as well as substance abuse. Those with an ACE score of 4 or more are roughly 50% more likely to have a mood disorder, 70% more likely to have an anxiety disorder, and a little over 40% more likely to struggle with substance abuse. The importance of trauma-informed care. Trauma-informed care is an approach that acknowledges the widespread impact of trauma and integrates this understanding into all aspects of treatment. Some ACE survivors have found it beneficial during therapy sessions to create a victim impact statement to articulate their trauma in a structured and meaningful way. It highlights how this exercise can help survivors validate their experiences and process complex emotions, which are often associated with PTSD symptoms. These statements are carefully crafted in collaboration with a trauma-informed therapist to ensure a safe and supportive approach. Effective interventions for ACE survivors. Research shows that cognitive behavioral therapy, also known as CBT, and other trauma-focused interventions are effective in addressing the mental health needs of ACE survivors. Preventing ACEs can help children and adults thrive and potentially stop ACEs from being passed from one generation to the next, improve education and employment potential, lower risks for conditions like depression, asthma, cancer, and diabetes into adulthood, and reduce the risk behaviors of smoking and heavy drinking. A call to action on how healthcare providers can make a difference. Mental health professionals and healthcare providers have the power to help ACE survivors build resilience and recover from trauma. Healthcare providers can anticipate and recognize current risks for ACEs in children and a history of ACEs in adults. They can refer patients to effective services and support, as well as link adults to family-centered treatment approaches that include substance abuse treatment and parenting interventions. They can continue their education, collaborate with community resources, and advocate for policies that support trauma-informed care. Every effort made can change a life. Healthcare providers can also encourage ongoing learning, collaboration, and advocacy to improve care for ACE survivors. Employers can adopt and support family-friendly policies such as paid family leave and flexible work schedules. States and communities, they can improve access to high-quality childcare by expanding eligibility, activities offered, and family involvement. They can also use effective social and economic supports that address financial hardships and other conditions that put families at risk for ACEs. States, communities, and mental health providers can also enhance connections to caring adults and increase parents' and youth skills to manage emotions and conflicts using approaches in schools and other settings. Everyone can recognize challenges that families face and offer support and encouragement to reduce stress. Supporting community programs and policies that provide safe and healthy conditions for all children and families are another way we can support each other. Building a stronger support system. Together we can build a stronger, more supportive community for ACE survivors. We do this by changing how people think about the causes of ACEs and who could help prevent them. By promoting safe, stable, nurturing relationships and environments where children live, learn, and play. We shift the focus from individual responsibility to community solutions and reduce stigma around seeking help with parenting challenges or for substance misuse, depression, or suicidal thoughts. By providing compassionate, informed care, we empower survivors to heal and thrive. We can do this and make a lasting difference one person at a time. Thank you for tuning in to my public service announcement on how we can support ACE survivors.